Right, little shopping this morning. I'd looked for the bananas, couldn't find no boneless. So I don't know where you get them from. Me and Rooshin on a morning, going out exercise. Right, if you heard him mention last week, I mentioned our kid going on his marathon in Wales. One photo, which was too late for me to upload last week, was this one. Obviously, just before the race. And that would be exactly what I'd be doing and all. But there was hordes on him. He enjoyed it. Right, elevated my flowers so they can see them from outside. Had a mown there. Paul, you'll be glad to know I've had something else delivered.
Oh, yeah, now? There was nothing this morning.
Honeyberry from the Netherlands.
That's a good one.
Looked into these. Luckily, when they first come out, there's quite a few fruit, which was early season. And through delving and swapping things and whatever, this now fruits in August, end of August, September, which is perfect for me, obviously, for exhibiting. So I'm taking all the gums out, opening them up. Nice root structure on it. That's what I want to see. Right, this is my last raised bed at the back. Get them all peeled off with these. Just getting all the gums out, cleaning them up. Because I've got to lift that base on the bottom, as you know by now. It is nice and firm. So I press down on there and it's hitting that timber. So once I put the growing medium in there and it gets wet, a bit of weight in it, it ain't going to collapse it. Exactly the same as the other one, bit of gritting, because those two, which we'll come on to later on, was free from the stump carrots, which I'm growing next year for exhibition, one of the classes. Rosie, because that's full of rainwater and it's nice and cold, when it goes past, I likes to have a drink out of it. Just shut the door a bit. Right, my blackberry, because there's two coming off one plant there, these two, which I'm going to job anyway later on. But, this was last week, so I'm going to chop him because he's overtaken this one now. I was going to train that one along the top here. Let's see where I've chopped him. I'm trained in that way. We'll come back onto him anyway later. Tying him back up again. I've just left that for a week, and this how much he's grown, about 18 inches in a week. So tie him up. Right, this is that last bed. This is where I had my taters in, if you remember. And this thing on my line prop with the potato family, whatever his name is, he's just gone live with the lovely flowers. Took over the bloody line prop. Right, this little chap here, something else has come into flower. I forgot about this altogether until he did come into flower. Then I remember. I'm sure we had him last year, and we did. Or I still don't know what it is. Or if somebody told me last year, I can't remember anyway. But something else has flowered up. Right, take the gum out of my bin. If there's any big lumps, i.e. bits of wood like that, then I'll just take them and I'll put them like there's me fruit trees up the top by my bin. So I'll just bung it on the top of there. Getting this one level again. That's a view from right at the back of the door. And if we go back on that one, when I've moved this pot from here, the tub, I've seen these worms. So I thought, I'm going to pick it out first. I know where you're going. Extras in my bin. Get them nice and level. Right, that one is about 8 inches short. He is going in there, and this is coming this way. But it's obviously with the weight of it, I need a bit of help. We'll come on to that later on. So there's my last two, which I've just sorted out. That one is going in the back there. Now, eventually that one is coming up here. So I've measured up since. And I've got another one of them to bake up. So 2 of them are going there. And then that one will come this side. Just upset the gaffer a bit because he's been covering the window. Rolly asked for this.
Yeah, thank you.
Good man. A couple of weeks ago, since I mentioned it, somebody else has asked for it. So I've put it on again, just for them. I also mentioned this last week, 15 Seconds of Fame, but I couldn't remember what it was from. And then looking at the photo before, I didn't realise I took this one of Michael McIntyre's wheel. Don't watch that anyway, but I did that, just get this set on. And basically you have to do a little introduction yourself or whatever you want on. And then you prick, obviously for me, Garden's World, because I was putting me composting gum on. So I picked that one, Garden's World, just to keep my mate happy. Also, I mentioned that last week. Brilliant. Love it. Looking forward to that again tonight. Right, this is taking the hound a walk on the morning again. A few of these, obviously, because that's your focus, that's blurred. But them are 2 council workers. Because I've just borrowed a bag off them. And I'm just walking down, picking up the litter. So I'm going to follow them and pick up the leaves. And go back on that. And just, especially down here, there's a side of the verge. You've got a, as you can see in there, when I'm scraping it up with my boot, there's topsoil mixed in with it as well. It's come off the verge, which is perfect for me. So I'll get that on. Give it a little bit extra. This is a brew of rollers because there's so many good brews in there. Good soaking. Let all the air out. Couple of holes in the bottom. Then bung it round bottom the back. Still got a bit of room in there. I might get another found some leaves from Beech Tree because we started off. This has got to be 25 years ago. A big onion man, I remember. He did a survey with leaf mold, and beech leaves was one of the best. So I found beech leaves, so I might job them. Canners for later on, or you canner people. As soon as the frost jobs them, or when we have to get them inside, obviously protect them over winter. I want to know how do you do it. You just throw them in as they are, because I mentioned to Paul, I read something on one of the canner sites. They take these out and they treat them like dahlia tubers. They chop them off and then they store them in boxes. Right, that might be the States. I don't know.
Mick, all
Yes.
what I do with mine, I just stick them in the greenhouse.
As they are now.
Oh,
Yeah,
Oh.
once the frost has got them, has blackened the foliage, cut them back so they fit in the greenhouse.
Cut it back where? To there?
About 6 inches above the pot, that's all.
Oh,
And
Rolly.
as long as they fit in, that's fine.
yeah,
My lad on his thing, you see all the pond stuff the other week.
yeah.
He's got several scattered around the garden, and I mentioned it to him. He never takes them in and puts them in the greenhouse. He just lets the frost take them right down. His
Oh.
argument is when he plants them in the borders and wherever he's got them all over the place,
Yeah.
he puts a massive amount of sharp sand in there so they've got drainage. And he
Oh.
reckons that's the key to leaving them outside, is plenty of drainage.
Oh,
I don't know, because I don't do it. I don't do flowers. But that was just his opinion when I asked him why he didn't put them all in the greenhouse, like, you know.
yeah.
If they're in a pot, Mick,
Yeah.
what can happen is the frost can just penetrate the side of the pot.
Hmm.
So if they're in the ground, it's fine with plenty of stuff over the top. But in a pot, they've got
The mulch.
access all the way round to the frost.
Yeah.
If it's the bad one.
Mm. See, next year I'm planting. Well, there's one of these going on the front of the what's it? And there's a couple going in here because I'm going to have loads. So if I do lose them, of course you're losing them anyway because got the protection of the fence.
Mm.
Kind of though them in the open. But we'll see how we go. But
The other thing you can do, Mick, is put some bubble wrap around the pots as well. That'll give them a bit of extra protection.
You'll gain more next year, mate.
yeah.
When you come to split them,
Yeah.
you'll have a cords of.
Mm.
You'll be selling them.
Fiesta, you can see if you look at the shape of that pot, it's gone out of shape. That's because the mate level, the roots are trying to bulge out. You know, them fighting for room. That's how much they've grown. Don't forget, there's only one chap in there.
That's when the frost will get it, Mick, because the roots are close to the side.
Now they'll be inside before we have frost in the greenhouse. But this one's a corker. Well, it's only a yellow one I got. That's why I like the chap Fiesta. But he's a good one. And all of them, I'm still throwing flowers. Meaning, if you've got the weather, they'd just carry on shooting, wouldn't they? Obviously.
November. From April till November.
I know them in the States who've got decent weather. The flowers all year. But I'm enjoying. Right, this is my last bed. I've put me 2 bits of strips to hold it up. This was last Saturday down the shed. Not yesterday, exactly before. Just clearing up again, sorting everything out. There's some old duvets which I've binned. Just pet through some out. I thought, know what I can do with them. This is just to keep if we do get a frost or whatever. This is the second trading shed. I'll just lay them over, stop them getting damp and whatever. And these are the old ones. I folded all that crap up, and then we'll go in my next door neighbour's black bin, which they did do last week. He's a good lad. You don't know. And then I just swept all the crap out. Nice and clean. Tesco during the week. See if I've got more leggings in than they had. So I thought while I'm there, get some more coffee grounds. Because I've got another dollop to weigh out for all me at raffle prizes. Tuesday on my talk. So that's what they get us. He said they hadn't got rid of it, hadn't got much. They got rid of it earlier on. I said, well, just give me what you've took since. And that was that one. Or he was trying to get rid of me, I don't know. I just opened it up, got rid of all the crap. There weren't much in. And I'm just drying it out. Breaking it up by hand. Right, my last bed. All done. So these 2 next year, I'm going to be growing stump carrots. Because one of the collections of veg in for our show was Collegated Master Gardener. And I used to put onions and shallots in. But now I've stopped growing them, I've got to put something else in. And one will be stump carrots. So that's what these 2 are for. And the other one was I've got 3 large raised beds. One of them would be for peas, exhibition peas. So that's my other veg, because I've had them 2 introduced onto the collection. So slowly getting there. Right, this is probably midweek. Taking the hand up home and all when we normally do. And I saw these, I thought I was going to have a closer perver then. And then a beautiful flower. God knows what they are. Anybody got any ideas?
That's the winter flowering clematis, Mick, by the look of it. Look at the leaf.
Ah. But he was, as we see
Very
there.
pretty, isn't it?
Yeah, isn't he nice? Right in the middle of the edge. I thought he was a bloody corker, he is. He's all over here and all. He was nice and Boston flowers on him. Right. Bloody porch roof started leaking. As you can see, we had a chap come in and do it. Took all the crap off, put his balls down ready. So while he's here, or when he's finished, what I'm going to do is drag him to help me. Not drag him, but ask him to help me drag that out, this way a bit so I can get that one in there. That's all ready to go in. You can see the overlap there. Right, dry my coffee grounds out. Put my marigolds on and rub all the lumps out. I just want it powder, but dry, then it'll last in the bag for yonks and will go off. Right, our mate gave me a shift with this. I moved up about 7 inches. We got that one in. But I've got another one then, which is still boxed up. I've got to make that up when the weather's crap, which has got to be 3 days, I think. So when I fit that in, when the 2 talks from out the road, then this one will be dragged up. I'll get somebody else up here, and then I get that other one here. And I think he just overhangs this wall about half inch. I mean, that pipe's in the road anyway, so he has got to go from this end. Don't forget, I'm going to utilise every bit of space I've got. So that one, I'm still umming and ahhing yet. One will be me exhibition peas. One will be me raspberries, obviously. And then I've got yellow raspberries as well. Plus me other little chaps. But we'll see how we go. Bougainvillea, he's gone haywire in the middle of there. He's going to be huge when I get him out, so I've got to cut him back. I'm going to drag him in the greenhouse as well. I don't have the frosty on him. Right, filling these chaps up. This is me new raised bed, don't forget. So first one is rabbit muck because it's got the straw in as well. So 4 inches out on the bottom. This raised bed is higher than that black one and a bit wider, so it's better. This brew was either, if you remember, I put manure, which had a bit of wood chip in as well, at the base of all the other raised beds. So this is what I took out of all them on it empty, but there's a good brew in there. So I thought, I'm going to waste that. I'm going to throw that in there. And if there's any wood chip in, obviously I'm going to take that out and put it under my fruit trees at the top. So I've got that lot in. Still deadhead in me, well, everything really. So I was from here on the front of the house. That's where a can is going to go next year, right in the middle of them two. And there's me babby. Go down to the car or something. Says, hang on there, back in a minute. And there's a good wench she does. Been crapping herself the last 2 nights, 5 weeks. Right, we've had winds again. This was 2 days ago. So dailies, it splattered them again, as you can see here. And also my little triffid, which was climbing up there. That was tied up, but the wind snapped it. But I bunged it back on again. Right, this is looking from the back porch door, looking up. So I've still got room to walk up there, even with the 3 of these on that side. These 4, when they go out, well, there's 5, but only 4 here. I still had them spared. Next year, I've got somewhere to go in one of them. Canners are probably going the other 2. Right, still filling up my raised bed. So what have we got here? This is out of, there's a couple of bags I took out of the plot. We took at the top of the garden. That was decent stuff. Bung that on. And the lumps out with some more many. Then I got me a bag of leaf mold. Beautiful stuff. Spread that over. Loads of worms in it. Don't forget that's kept moist. It's still breaking down. That's why you need your leaf mold. Beautiful stuff. For a top dressing, add into your compost or fill in a raised bed up. This is the peat that I've been growing my cormorants in, you know, the ones that was in the large pots. Obviously, when I took the cormorants out, I've got loads of spent peat left. So a bag of that also went on there. And that was mixed in just a hand fork depth. And then I need some compost. So let's get a good dollop of that out to bung in. That's what I want, activity worms. If there's any lumps in, you throw them back in there to break down even more. But in the end, I took 2 bucket loads out, put that on. So them lumps will go back in the compost bin. That's getting another dollop out. I took the lumps out, just put them around one of the fruit trees. But beautiful stuff. Let's put in the last lot in. Right, then we've got a bit of worm cast, rock dust, dried, shredded seaweed, goat muck that was dried and shredded and all. Mix that all up together. Good brew, top dress that. That's the only fertilizer that's getting. And I'll top dress that lot with more rabbit muck. This was what the top dressing was last year around my raised beds. When my gladius come through, top dressed with this muck. That's what it's turned into after 12 months. Well, listen to 12 months, but that's beautiful stuff. So the straw is breaking down, plus you've got the soil in there as well. Excellent. So that's an extra to go on the top of that. I'm going to keep that down. Stop the squirrels digging in it and rooshing, picking the rabbit crap. Just pin that down and give it a good way through. And that's it, he is all ready. Perfect. Cape gooseberry. With a bit of protection, these can be overwintered. They are perennial. I thought that was only a 1 year thing. So I'm going to keep him, but still picking, so I'm still watering him. Chopped up composting gear, ingredients, kitchen and garden waste. Don't forget, this is all I'm getting in a week now, which is about 4 inches of stuff. But then adding the extra ingredients which are on the bottom, meaning I ain't getting as much obviously as what I was getting down the allotment. But it's working well because I don't need so much now. But that's me mixed extra ingredients what I'm putting in. And then this lot mixed together. Perfect. Bung him in. Even watering. Shake the worms in. Cover it. Get going. Right, bananas. Still feeding house plants. Potassium. Rainwater. And let them soak 24 hours. Right, I've put the pots out in the tunnel where my fruit trees are going to go, or bushes. See what they have in a bit. Slowly clearing all this crap up. Don't forget I couldn't do this till now because I had all my big glady corms in here, which did well. Good little workshop. This is a tunnel, just piddling down. Obviously I'm drying my spent coffee grounds. You can see where the rain comes in that side. Well, my chaps, I put in, was it last week, week before? The overhanging blackberries and their first warning from going out. Another job to do, top of the garden. This raised bed here. Eventually gladius will be going in here. But I'm going to use that back space because if I move in, it'll just make out there some hooks all the way along. what I want, 3 rows on one at the top, one there, one on there, and another one down here. We'll see what for later on. When I had put them extra 3 rows in, and then walloped it in white just to cover it up, but we'll come back onto it. Right, this is just changing the bed upstairs, our bed. Put the cover, mattress cover on. Bloody Rosie jumped under there and loves it. Just running around like a blue ass. Look at her little face. More me, Dad. Right, I found these out. Got the presentation night coming up for the gardening club. I was going to use these as raffle prizes, but we'll get loads of raffle prizes anyway. So I'm going to just flog these at £1 each. When I started gardening, I've always used it. It's one of the first books I've found. I still use them now. Right, that's preparing the presentation night on the night, obviously. We had on the night 32 exhibitors. I think 6 of them, 6 or 7 new ones, which is excellent. Well, that's what I want. First time they exhibited and everybody won something. Everybody went to won something, which is good for them lot. First time exhibiting. If they never come third, I've still won a ticket. Jimmy Checkett's come first. He had 105 points, but he was away on holiday, 97 quid. I could second, he bloody pipped me. I got 90. But point wise, you get 5 points for the first, 3 points for the second, and 1 point for the third. So that's Jimmy Checkett's. There's mine. I had vodka because that's what the missus drinks. And that was for the Collegate Master Gardener. Shed voucher, and then the Ackers. But this lot we've cut back the last couple of years because there used to be trophies everywhere, which people don't really want nowadays. And we've cut back on the spirits as well. That's Amy and Joe. I've dragged them on the committee, the last committee member meeting, which was Monday last. And that's what we need. The more we got on the committee, the easier work is. But that was place building up Thursday night. And they've got this in, Nightjar British Stout. Thought I'd give that a go. It was years ago. I used to drink mild when I was back home. Fancy's mild or Hanson, anything like that. I was a mild man. And anyway, when I hadn't got mild, I used to drink Mackie Split. Yes, Paul.
Yeah, that night, Joe.
Ah,
Went last night for a pint of it. We drunk it all Thursday night.
you had.
You had as well. I drunk it all gone.
It was nice.
Delivery Wednesday.
Beautiful
Wednesday
drink.
next delivery.
Ah,
Wednesday is coming.
it is a nice.
Wednesday. It is.
Jean doing the presentations. So there's me getting mine. These are the Zoomers. There's Chris Evans. You got what did Chris get? Let's have a per. You got winner best in show, best exhibiting collections, best exhibiting Gladdy and all. It really beat me with the Gladdies. I should have got a photo of his Gladdy. I'll ask him if he got one. Lynn Griffiths was a new one, first time exhibitor. They're done well as well. Best exhibiting flower arranging. Best exhibiting domestic classes. Well done, Lynn. There's Jared. You still help me down the shed. You got a proper job now. I lost him. Neelands, he did well and all. See. Most points in Dahlias. Neil, you lost in Dahlias, good lad. Good to see them two from over the brook. Nick Bragg should have come as well, but he got that much work on it, he couldn't, well, he got no choice. But when he did come on the night, I thought, well, you think we'll see anything. As long as he's all right, which he was. So, right, after the presentation night, we had the grub and the raffle crab, and we had a quiz. And this is one of the questions. Aged compost is typically the best option for veggie gardens. Which of the following is not a feature of aged compost? Right. Discussions. What's your inputs? What do you think?
C.
You don't want it dry, do you, Mick?
Very dry.
Right. Definitely C for me.
Yeah, me too.
Correct. Right, this chap is going haywire, but he's still doing well. But next door likes him as well. Right, if you remember earlier on the year, I put 2 blackberries out, or that late last year, from Wilco, exactly the same brew underneath them, and well, you know how he went. Lack of iron, coloring the yellow in the leaves. So he's coming out because he's been like that all year. If he's like it now, he ain't gonna get better over winter. So he's coming out. Right, Manchester bomb scare. This was in the paper, as you can see. This was a disgrace when it happened. Emergency service not allowed to go in. Health and safety PC brigade just going over the top. I know if our gaffer was, if we was stationed there and we was on duty with our gaffer, he'd have told us to suck egg, we'd have gone straight in the road. That's enough on that one. Don't do politics. Right, we still ain't had a frost yet, but we've had some fresh mornings. But 8 mile away, they've started having frost, whether it's in a higher up, lower down, or whatever. But so far, we got away with it. Right, back of that top of the garden, that raised bed, where I put them hooks in. Got me some decent wire. Cleared all these chaps from the back of there. Put my wire in. Perfect. That will do me. What's going there then? This chap. Spare blackberry. Right, he's been we're going to see that pot's been sat there a while because all the roots have come down underneath, and that's the roots that's come out immediately from the pot. I thought I ain't gonna cut them off or disperse of them, but we'll see them in a minute. Yeah, this blackberry is Chester, is August September fruit, which is what I want, and that chap is going in that corner, obviously along those wires. This will be a gladiola. So it's just that corner where the plant's going. Obviously, I call planting there, but surrounding I can do. Right, he's gonna have a good bit of muck under him. So that's alpaca muck, and that's me exhibition tortoise muck. We'll try it from that show. That's where it is going. Plus a bit of my compost and all, which I've got in. Right, this pot, because I don't want to knacking them roots off, I've just cut through the plastic pot itself. And I've cut away, basically just cutting the whole of the bottom of that pot out. So I don't lose any roots whatsoever. I don't want to give them any stress to that plant at all. And I've got away with it. Perfect. Right, bigger hole than what I want, because there's gums going in there and all. There's my alpaca and me big tortoise, giant tortoise muck. Get him nice and level with the top. Backfill with a good brew. So it's surrounded by good brew. Right up against the cork, well, not right up against, but not too far out. Straw him. I've got 2 good leads. That's all I want. But you see that loads of little ones coming off. So I've chopped them off. Don't need them. And that's where I'm training the top 2. I'll get next year's fruit and be on this year's growth. And then next year, when I get new growth, I'll go along them 2. Kept at the back. So I'm getting my gladdies. That's my little kettle which is boiled up. I don't want to give these any checking growth with cold water. Obviously it's rain water, greenhouse temperature. Well, it was cold the night before, so I'm just putting a bit of a water in just to warm up slightly, so it's tepid. Give me a nice watering in. Next plants along, just looking at across, but we've got to sort out the blueberry. There's 2 more there. Aaron's gonna have one of them. Black currant. With these black currants, this is things that move on with the times, cross pollination and whatever they do. If you remember peach, I tried a peach 20 odd years ago down the allotment, and I did rubbish with it, even protecting it, looking after them, everything. And there was no late peaches. Now the peaches now, they fruit for our show. Remember that one I had? And he dropped a bloody fruit. And when I first started looking at black currants, red currants, nothing fruited late. But now we're slowly getting there. These are July, August. If I can just look after them that bit better and extend their growing period. Don't forget our show is the 1st week in September. I only need a cupful. But anything that is too early, too late, and I shall still use to make jams and whatever. So I can still exhibit, but it'll be in a jar instead of on a plate. Picked another load of these this morning, ready for tomorrow's breakfast. Raspberries and straws. Put my fruit trees back where they were supposed to be. There, I put a spot with my felt pen just to see how much growth I'm going to get off him. Because I know things have started dropping down now. And there's still only 1 leaf dropped off the grapevines. So that tells me stuff's still green. Well, the blackberry on the back of the house, he's putting a leg on, so he's still growing, and everything else is still growing. So let's get it out as much as we can. Right, the plants are going out. I've just bummed them out here roughly. We're starting this side first. These 2 with them, what Scott had, them scented things. But I think they got 2.5 foot high, so I might put them outside on the border instead of the raised bed. And if you just look at that one there, because I've just used my own compost as a growing medium. There's a tomato growing through. Because nothing kills off tomato seeds. So I mean,
they're hardy, Mick. You think they're hardy?
I hope so. But I just
That's all
took
right.
just with straw and muck any road.
Yeah.
Mm. Goose gogs. When I first had goose gogs, that was all June, July fruiting, and now they're getting later. So this is still, I think it's July. There ain't one yet, but there might be next year if they get one next year. Jeffrey, yes, mate.
Can you still get the gooseberries, the ones that grow like the size of a small egg? You have competitions for them, don't you? Give them a try. They're late.
Are they?
Yeah.
What's the name of them?
I don't know, I saw it on the YouTube thingy. It was a exhibition growing gooseberries 19 something around the 90s.
I've
Follow
heard
them
of
from them.
competitions with gooseberries, big ones.
Yeah, they put them kind of in egg boxes to transplant them.
Uh,
They were kind of size of a small egg.
but I thought that was all early, or this is recently. This has been years ago when I looked into that. Good to know. Honeyberry is the next one to go out. Now I've got my red currant. Cordon pot.
Nick, can you
Yes,
go back a couple, please,
two.
to your honeyberry? The Loderica species, that's a honeysuckle.
Is it? That's all right. As long as it gives me the berries, the honey berries. So it's same family.
That's the same family as honeysuckle.
You learn something every day. And that should be August, because I rang them up when they had this delivered. I said I bought this on the contest because you got it advertised as cropping in August. And he looked into it, come back. Well, first of all, he told me I was talking at me rag ass. Then I took this photo and sent him. This is our apologies. Basically, they're cheap labour who do these. What's this? Put the wrong. What's it on? So it is August. So I'm hoping to get away with him as well. There's my goose gogs. Wilbury Chandler. So all them lot are ready to go in. I've measured each one a distance. So I've got big ones there. Obviously, when I say big, I mean the spread. Right, then we're going straight up. Them two. So he's going to have all their space, if that makes sense. Right, my banana juice is ready. That's been brewing for 24 hours. So I just leg it round, do all my house plants again. And my bonds. A lot. Still looking after my birds with the seeds and the water. Right, I need a good brew under my fruit. So I'm going to plant in the tunnel. So obviously I've got to start off with Rowley's stuff. Just give me that many good brews. Also, I put some silver sand, which I had in the loft, what was on my growing cabinet. Put a good dollop of that in. Put a bag of charge in. I've also got a bag of me and mycorrhizal fungi out of the garage. So I'm planting out. I've got to use that as well. So that lot's put in my bucket. Plus my alpaca, chopped up straw with rabbit muck. That is all mixed up. A new one, I found this in the shed. I must have been given this 12 years ago, might be more. Such years ago, especially during the war. I remember my uncle used it, my grandfather, on his back garden. Soot in London was, well, they used to pay for it because there was no fertilizers about. That's what all the gardeners used to be after it. And I can remember 20, 30 years ago, Exhibition Tomato Growers was putting soot on their tomatoes as well. It is superb stuff.
It's got to be weathered though, Mick.
Yeah. Coal and timber. Coal and timber, because you can get bad soots as well. So all of that went in as well. So that lot was mixed up. Give me a good brew. The border, that's what I've had. You know, July, August fruiting. That's why I had him. You know, a couple of years ago, looking at these, that was June and July.
They're very much a June, July red currant, Mick. Ideal for June, July shows.
Yeah.
Not
No
August. They'll hang
No.
on, you get a second flowering sometimes, but they're really at the best June, July.
I mean, if they don't do it, then I should make jams and what is
They're
wine.
fantastic. They are fantastic.
Whose gogs had they come up? Well, that was June, July as well. If they do bring one out, there's always fruit in, and I should buy them. Right, me blackberry which I put out, I forgot to put some mic under his Harris, so I've just got down to the roots, dollop in there, then waited him. Next one to go in. Don't forget anything in a pot, the same as if I was in the greenhouse. If I was going from a 2.5 inch pot into a 5 inch pot, I'd watered 2 days before. So when you do upend them, they stay nice and solid. They don't collapse. Same with these big ones. Well, anything in a pot. If you try and transplant dry, unless they've got a good root structure, then they're just going to collapse on you. So I'm just getting the size of my hole. Put my brew in, take him out of the pot, got the level. Now with these, because I'm at the back, because obviously the highest part is the middle of the tunnel, so I'm training these up that road, as you can see. Nice and dry looking for him front on. Firmed him, strawed him. Not cold weighted again. Look after the chaps. I'm getting a good waiter in. Red colours going to the side. Exactly the same again. Coming in a bit. Mulch as normal. Topless in. That's the first two in. These two are big pots when I put them in the goose box. They'll be good pots next year for canners. Don't forget, I had Gladys in here last year. So there's loads of baby cornbread coming out. So I'm going to save them and all. There's even Babby's got cornbreads, their own cornbreads on it. Right, he's in deep enough, nice and level, because I'm going to put that brew under the pot, because you can see he's dropped in that pot anyway. So it's going to be lower, but once I put that brew under his Harris, then that'll lift him up. Perfect. Taking him out, he ain't going to collapse because he's not over moist, but compact together. A bit blurred, that's a bit better. Right, let's firm him, level him up how I want him. Give them a good soaking. Jerry, while we've got you on here, is it right? You can there's some of these you can prune now, but it's better in February or something because you can see the new buds, so you know where to prune back to.
Yeah, I would prune in February, March, Mick,
Yeah.
just in case you get any damage. You never do know. It's
Yeah.
worth leaving a top bit on.
Oh, yeah, all this will be left on all.
Yeah.
Good. Oh, this bloody deep depth and off on these. But this is good soil all the way down. Don't forget this is I'm working from waist height. So it's from my waist right down to well, this even goes deeper than my feet. So a bit of mic on him. That's the next one out. Obviously, this is one the other side. One green, one red goes go. There's my little chaps, which I'm going to dry off. Roland.
Yeah, that giant gooseberry. I just sent you an email with the Exton Bridge giant cucumber, giant gooseberry growers thing on. I think that's what Jeffrey was on about a minute ago about the giant gooseberry.
Oh.
So there are one or two gooseberry clubs left. Yeah,
they got a Facebook page for it anyway, Mick. So you've got the address on your emails when you get time to.
Oh, good man.
All right. Cheers, Jeffrey, for giving me the idea to search it.
Cheers, Rowley. Thank you,
With
Jeffrey.
pleasure.
So slowly we're working our way back. These were moved over so they don't get in the way. Right, next one to go in. This is my honeyberry AR. Nice roots on him. That's what I want. Bit of gum under him. Bit of mic. Get him in upright. Perfect. Mulch him with my rabbit muck. And give him a good soaking. Russian has to come in for the nose. I thought I was going to run out of straw, but I managed to do it. Then we got all my raised beds, whether I'm inside of a tunnel greenhouse or outside. They're all top dressed for this. And it lasts a year, over a year. That's keeping in the moisture and the warmth. You know, keeping the cold out. Plus when it does rot down, it's another extra into your growing medium. Last one this side. This is a big pot and all. Mulch again as normal in a good way. So that's the 4 in that side. Blueberry going in. Brew under his Harris again and a bit of mic. Comes out in one. Goes in one. Perfect. Right, there's only one that's missing down this end, and there's a peach going to go in there. I needed a piddle, so I had a piddle in the watering can. Well, not in the watering can, in a jug. That one's in the watering can. Give him a little bit of nitrogen. This is what I've ran out of rabbit muck. So I had to use what weren't fresh straw, but it looks fresh. Forgot where I had that from. But then I had a good watering to hold that down and to keep it down close to the surface of the growing medium. Once these are dry, they'll be cleared off. The timber I'll use, that'll go back in the garage. Then this will be nice and clean. Right, just looking up at my grapes. I've grown up again, they need tying onto the wire, which I've tied them up last week. That tells me they're still growing, which is what I want. So I'll just water along on the top of these and and tied them up. And legged it back again. Right, cherry, there's one there. And the four fruit trees. My columns which down the bottom. I've got a Beth pear, quince, red sleeved apple, M27 stock, Victoria plum, the blue-tipped dwarf, pixie plum. Them 5 are going to go in here. My raised bed, which is tunnels, greenhouses outside, sorry. So this used to be me blank sleep bed. Don't forget, I've took all the roofs off. I've still got the sides and the back because the winds, when we get the bloody winds up here, are a pain in the arse. But at least our mate upstairs will away them from it. So you can help me out there. Cape Gooseberry, just having a quick perv of him. This is where he's going to go. So that's the tunnel we've just looked at here. Fruits coming is behind me this side. That's me blackberry I've just put in. My middle bed is here. And this bed is where that Cape Gooseberry is going. Because he's only got a back on it, I'm going to put a top on the, obviously on the bloody top and on these sides again. Because I'm going to plant him next week in here, Cape Gooseberry. And so that'll be just protection over winter, just over wintering him. Because he will give me fruit in September for our show. But it's still going. And that's when I pick him. And I started going brown. Finished watering with me banana skins. So the banana skins went to the compost heap. Just bung them in there. This will need change in colour, which will be the black plastic or anything black to go around him. Has to absorb the sun then when he's out, not repel it as it is at the moment. So that'll be another job to be done soon. England football. Who did they job? Just 2 or 3 days ago. In right, the one. Papua New Guinea. Excellent. And that was this afternoon. Bloody pipped us by a point. Argentina. Calling everything. Our first inputter. Suzanne, are you with us?
Yeah, I'm here.
Austin.
It's just a few. Hang on, let me mute the TV because you'll be able to hear it otherwise. Right. It's just these are about 4 years ago. It's just a few fungi that I saw along the routes that I was walking. I don't know what that is. Does anyone know what that is? No.
Without looking it up.
They were big. They were very big. Well, it was that. Go back to that one, Nick.
Yeah.
That one before. That one before, the brown one. It was they'd taken a tree out. The actual fungus. That's it. They'd taken a tree out, and this was like on the grass verge where they'd taken the tree out.
Not honey fungus, is it?
I have no idea.
That can grow on the roots. It's still underground.
Ah, might be, yeah.
What do they call them? Liver or something?
If you got black lace, a bit like laces for shoes, that's what you get in the ground.
All right. Yeah, it was quite big. It was easy in other places as well. So it's obviously something to do with the tree. And then the next one is one that I think Lynn showed last week.
Yeah.
On the Zoom last week. This was, like I say, these were all about 4 years ago. This is at the crematorium. And there's this as I'm walking from where my dad is to where my mum is, there's this great big bit of green grass, and it was full of them, absolutely chock-a-block with them. So yeah, but they are beautiful, but they're obviously not very good if you eat them. And then the next one, oh, that was the sunset for the other night. A couple of nights there was a storm that was coming from Europe right across to the south. And that was the sunset after the storm. It was beautiful. So, next one. That's another mushroom that we saw over the park in the grass. Tiny little thing. It was. But yeah, I don't know what any of these are, but I just thought Ghislaine showed some mushrooms last week. I'd put my ones on.
I ain't seen
So,
that.
yeah, I don't know what that is.
Mm.
No, it is tiny. It's really tiny. But yeah. Anyway, next one.
Rowley.
I've got a whatever, but I keep searching while they're on the screen trying to find them. I've got a River Cottage handbook on all mushrooms and toadstools and things. Although whatever his name is, Whittenstall introduced it.
Yeah, Whittingstall, yeah.
The bloke that wrote the book is a John Wright, who's one of these forager fellas. Have you got that book?
He's a good lad, he is, yeah.
Yeah, but
It's really clever man.
It's a very, very good book, you know, with them all listed in it. I was searching through
it's
trying to find them.
So it's got edible, and non-edible.
Yeah, it's got poisonous
there.
ones in it as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's well worth getting it to have a nose through.
The red one's very
Yeah.
poisonous.
Oh, I know the red one is, yeah. But the other ones, I've never really seen them before. I mean, like this one, it's tiny, tiny little thing. So
Well, you can
next
try
one.
every mushroom once.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, once, yeah. Might not try it again.
I was told that by John Wright some years ago.
And that's the bit of grass where it's literally full of them red ones. It's literally, all of them were all red. Yeah, it was massive. It looked lovely.
Yeah. Many a hippie would dream
It
of
looked-
collecting those.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
And I
bet.
might have in the past. I mean,
Yeah.
magic mushrooms are actually flyagaric, are actually cultivated for medical reasons, believe it or not.
Oh, really?
Oh, they are, because they
Yeah.
do contain some important things. But you eat a whole one, someone just said they'll kill you. Probably.
Yeah.
Have a good trip on the way.
Mm.
It'd be your
So
last
me being
trip, yeah.
flippant. Sorry about that.
Next one, Mick. That's another one similar to the other one, but not quite as big. But they're funny looking things. They are like, you know, when you have normal mushrooms, like chestnut mushrooms and they've got that ribbon underneath.
Yeah.
That sort of web bit. That's what they were like underneath. So whether that means they're edible or not, I don't know. But I ain't eating them. I'm not going to try. So next one.
Chinese like something like that, don't they?
Yeah.
Jeffrey, you got your hand
okay.
up, mate.
Yeah, just I don't know if there is, but you've got kind of apps to put on your phone to check out the kind of plants. If you take a picture of them in the app, they tell you what it is. I don't know if you've got the same for mushrooms.
I never thought. Oh, I've got an app actually that I go on. It's you can put them in Google Lens as well, and they tell you what it is.
Okay, I
Well,
didn't
they
know
give
if
you
they had
an
it for
idea.
mushrooms on it.
Yeah, but I think they do it for anything. You can put it in there, put a picture on there, and it'll tell you what it is. I'll have a look. I've never even thought he'd doing that. Next one. If there is another one. Oh, that's just another one of the red ones. It looks so cute though, doesn't it?
I do.
Looks
Well,
like a
They
little,
are.
cute little toadstool.
That's called a fly agaric.
Flyagaric, yeah. Magic mushroom.
What is that different? Is that different to the other red one? Or are they all
No, it's
the
the
same?
same one. It's a magic mushroom, flyagaric.
Hallucinogenic,
Mm.
apparently.
Very.
Yeah.
Take you on a
Man
trip.
United.
Well,
Man
it's at the
United colour, is it?
crematorium. This is at the crematorium, so
Well, they're very common in certain conditions. I have a few growing in my orchard. They look really wonderful.
yeah. I mean, you're in the right place if you want to eat one, aren't you?
Yeah.
Right, next one. This is the lake. It's a little story. It was about 4 years ago. This is the lake at the crematorium, and it's got a couple of bridges across it. You can walk to the other side. And I walked across the middle one, and I was looking at the little lake and everything. across the bridge. It's only a tiny little bridge, and there's all these geese around. And when I was walking back, there was these 2 geese, and they wouldn't let me cross. They were literally walking towards me, and they looked like, no, you're not crossing. You're not going in front of me. So I ended up walking all the way around to the end of the lake, and then going right over the other bridge, and then I legged it. So yeah, they wouldn't let me across the bridge. They were literally standing there guarding the bridge.
Yeah.
Wouldn't let me back.
They know if you're scared of them or not. They can
Oh, I
tell.
was, yeah. I was. But the thing is, other times I go over there and feed them. I take like the proper bird food over and go and feed them. But yeah, this time they was like, no, you're not coming back.
Mm.
So little sods. So I think that's it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cheers, Suzanne.
That's all
Austin.
right. There's only a couple.
Lynn, am you on tonight?
There's
Lynn.
a wedding holiday, Mick. There's a wedding holiday. Yeah.
Is there?
There's an electricity, I told you. Thursday.
Right, I can't remember everything. Anyway, I would have sent me this. I mentioned this last week. This is a tater and courgette soup, what it does. If anybody wants to copy it, it'll be on YouTube post tomorrow. But it's a good brew, it says. I put this on during the week, making the most of my forest. Collecting the fallen leaves to put into a strong plastic bag to make leaf mold. That's what they say. So I made earlier, it's been breaking down for 1 or 2 years. Being ready to use. So that's a back garden there. I went down a couple of years ago. It's getting there slowly with the garden. So that's the leaves we just collected. And that's the one from a year, 2 years ago. So it does break down. I'd just say put them in a bin liner and make sure you put air holes in. You don't need them in a bag this thickness. But you go wet every leaf that goes in. But let's get it there. Right, Andy, your our next inputter.
All right, Mick.
Or yours, sir.
Right, it was half term and we went off to Bodnick Gardens. We can take the dog. Just want to have a look at the autumn colours, and that's why we went. Okay, next one. It's just autumn colours. That's the aces. That's some of the aces that's there. It's about 80 acres of the place. You know, it's a brilliant place to go in North Wales. Okay,
That's
next
nice.
one, Mick. They got quite a bit of water there. They got, you know, running streams. I like that one. It's the weeping willow, just the way the sunlight caught on the leaves. There's more hens and all sorts. There's kingfishers on that particular stretch of water. Okay, next one, Mick. Yeah, this is it's just an acer leaf. As I say, these are off my Facebook page. I just put them on for autumn colours. That was it. Okay, next one, Mick. And again, some leaves that are floating in some water. I enjoy my photography, and that's all I was doing, just photographing the colours. If you're not careful, you'll blink and you'll miss it. And there's no leaves there at all.
Mm.
Okay, next one. Yeah, there's a few. I don't know what it is. I just happen to like it. That was probably 3-4 foot across. That was the fungus growing there on a bank.
Actually, it looks like a bank, or yeah.
It is a bank, but it's about 3 or 4 foot across. Okay, Mick, next one. The little wood mouse was out there. It doesn't look right. It looks half soaked. It was scuddying round, but to be out in the day like that and the people round it, you know, it's not going to last. Someone's going to eat it.
Yeah.
Someone's going to catch it there. But I thought I'll just take a picture of it. Okay, next one. Water lily. They've got several water lily ponds there. I don't know if you've ever been to Bodnet Gardens. Any of you?
No.
We're members of the National Trust, so we can. It's about an hour's drive from here, you know, from home, about 55 miles or so. And we enjoy it. You can take the dog at certain days throughout the summer. It's only on certain times, but in the autumn you can take the dog any day. Okay, next one, Mick. That's just looking out across from the house, you know, and Bodnant Hall off to the Welsh Hills. It just gives you an indication of just some of the trees and the colour that's coming through.
Nice.
Next one, that's it. Look at the Acer there. That's in the Acer Grove. Lots of different types of acers there. You've also got plenty of leaves on the ground. There was kids playing in the leaves, kicking them about. You'll notice that the photos are a lot smaller because they don't fill the whole screen, because I made the file size smaller so that I could put them on my Facebook, because they don't like to have large files on Facebook.
Yeah.
Okay, next one, Mick. That's my wife Moira with the dog. It's a Samoyed. That's the third Samoyed we've had. My wife likes them. At half term, we were meant to be in Cornwall for a week, but doesn't want a week when the wife's not there. So it wouldn't have been fair on the lad. So we stayed at home. The wife went off to Germany a few weeks ago, and then about 10 days later, she was in Hungary, and the dog didn't want to eat. Well, if we're away for a week, I mean, lad's he's gonna freak out if he can't get the dog to eat. So we didn't go. Simple as that. Okay, next one, Mick. That's just some steps just leading up. I like the columnar trees, you know, the columns of them, and going up. Yes, it's an interesting place, if well worth a visit. Next one, Mick. Again, you know, the little stream there, the colours just looking through, they're magnificent. That's straight out of the camera.
Mm.
And it's
Good in that.
yeah, but you know, you look at the trees round you, but you just take it for granted because they change colour ever so slowly, and then the leaves are not there. It's only a small window time from, you know, to get the photographs, and then you've got them for a while. Then okay, Mick, next one. You see the dog there. Yeah, in there a few years ago there was a grey wagtail with a nest, and I photographed the wagtail. I was sitting where the dog is there on the side, and it was standing on the rail. I was photographing it that close, coming to feed the youngsters. But look at that acer behind it, you know, absolutely superb colour.
Yeah.
To the right of that, to the right-hand side, that's the rhododendron. Now I took a photograph in May, the end of May, and it's the wife's there with the dog, and it's absolutely covered in blossom. Okay, next one, Mick. Yeah, just looking down there, you know, as I say, there's a few streams there. It's a gorgeous place. They've got plenty of water. When my daughter was born, I've got 4 daughters, but my last daughter, someone
539 won't be very paying. Good God.
Sorry. Right. when my daughter, the last one, someone gave us some money to buy a tree in memory of her, and that's the magnolia we have in the garden. It's 20 odd foot tall now and a good spread in it. And originally it flowered on her birthday, 20th of April. We got it from Bodden Gardens, so we got nice memories of the place as well. Okay, next one. Yeah, that's one of the lily ponds there and the pin mill behind. Yeah, you can see the water lily that's there, but further to the left, you got the terraces leading up to the house, and you got another lily pond. The views that you saw, the Welsh Hills, were basically to the right of that, 90 degrees to the right of that. That was the Welsh Hills with the trees there. Okay, next one, Mick.
Going back on the section.
That's the one above, and that's the Welsh Hills. The other lily pond is below that one, further down. But they got a superb selection of all sorts of trees there. They got the sequoia trees, the redwoods. They had one of them blown over in Storm Arwen, and they've just cleared that away now. Just got rid of it. Okay, next one. That was Llandudno, the seafront there. My wife likes water. As I say, her mother used to go there to Llandudno, and it did her the power of good just going there and stretching her legs. My wife does open water swimming all the year round. She loves it.
Gordon Bennett.
Well, I do kayaking, and my wife does stand-up paddle boarding, and we got this, she does swimming as well.
Good on you.
She scattered her father's ashes in, was it March, I think, in Sidmouth. And while she was there, she went for a swim in the sea. When she had a paddleboard,
more good than me.
In the shade, there was ice.
Oh, shit.
That was taken earlier on. That was the end of May. That's the Laburna March. It's famous, that is. It's a hell of a thing. When you go there, it tells you on the web page when to go for that, just for the Laburna March.
Yeah,
it's absolutely superb. There's a little Samoyed puppy there coming towards us. Next one, Mick. That's the picture I had of, I said about the rhododendron. Look at the blooms on that.
Yeah. Absolutely
superb. As I say, I just sent you these others because of you had a shot that was taken, if you like, at the end of half term, and you saw the colours off the trees. But earlier on, that's what it was like. That was absolutely fantastic, Mick.
Yeah.
No matter when you go, there's something to see.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, Mick, is there another one or not? Yeah. That's the wife with the dog. Is a rescue dog. But when we were in Llandudno, we walking the dog. A runner came up to us and asked us, were we in the gardens earlier on this year? Because she remembers the dog. She's the one with that puppy. Actually came up to us, yeah. I think that's it, isn't it, Mick?
I think it is, mate. Yeah.
Yep. Cheers.
Cheers, Andy. Good man. Right, said this during the week on Facebook. But just been born. Yeah, obviously because the wench you standing there in the wellies, that's the size on it. But look at the chap's back feet. I saw them good swimmers underwater. Haven't near enough web down there. Never noticed that on it before. Dave, next inputter. Dave, you want to talk through these, or do you want me to talk through them? If you don't come back, I'll talk through them. Right, Dave up Chesterfield needed some muck, so we had a good drop of muck delivered. Good brew. Thank you, Dave. I know it was a quick one. See this one and all, another little chap. Camouflage, or deterrent, I should say. There's a deterrent in it. There's somebody coming down to nick him, I'd think twice. Paul, I think you're up next. Yes, you am, I guess. Fit, Paul?
Yeah, mate. Oh, yeah.
Good man.
Oh, well done. Dimmery sugar. I'm trying it with one of my recipes, warm recipes.
Get closer to your mic, Paul.
Hang on. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Better? Yeah.
10
I bought
pence
some
in your meter.
Dimmery sugar yesterday. And I've done some pro freezer, some wine. I've started it today, so.
Yeah, I'm going
Yeah, we
crap
get
again on your mic.
Am I doing crap again?
Yeah.
That's better. I need your mic. Next one, Mick. Banana today. I've still going strong, but I've done chopped his head off. I'm going to show you how over winter if you keep them outside. Next one, Mick. Cut the head off where the main leaves was at the top. Just cut them off. Next one, Mick. And your chicken wire, you cut to the side. I've cut a bit extra this year, as you could tuck it in, wrap it round, tie it in, a bit of string, or cut the wire and loop it round. And the next one, Mick, just fill it with straw. Just push your hand down. Push your hand right down to the bottom. Get the straw in. Cover the crown. Next one, Mick. And then you tie a good bag around it and leave it over winter. That's it. And I've seen another version I do. You can have a winter as well. You dig them up. And you take the stem off quite a bit. Hang upside down in the garage. You know how that works. You can do it that way. There's a woman on the banana side does it to a red one. Digs it up, clears all the roots off, leaves a few roots on, hangs the plant upside down, chops the leaves off, and leaves it over winter in the garage.
There's a hell of a lot of water in the stem, isn't there, Paul?
There is. So, I've had success over the outside of the last time, but the rest of them go inside. In the entry. So I've got about how much to do inside.
You ain't got a garage. That's why you put them in the kitchen and up the stairs. And in the bedroom with your missus.
The big ones are going to come in out. The little ones will go down. That's very easy. No, the little ones, little bananas, they'll come inside or go into the bottom of the garden. It's dead easy to do, to be honest. Chicken wire, the wood plastic bag, and make sure that they don't get wet. The crown, because the crown gets wet and knackered. That was the one from last year. I didn't cover it last year. And it was about 3.5 foot tall. I just put some fleece over it, green sap, and it just died. And that's the stem of the other one. It's produced a sucker in April and May. It just shot up since May though. Off the main plant. The main plant is still in there. Trying to get a saw to put the main plant off, it's that big. But hopefully next year that'll be a lot bigger. And that's it, Mick. Any questions if you want to let me know?
Boston, cheers, Paul.
All right, bud.
A couple of days ago, England beat Canada in the rugby. Well done, ladies. Doing better than the men. Good game that was. I always catch the highlights because these are on early morning. And that one, England, Argentina, that was this afternoon. Where we just got bloody pipped by 1 point. Paul job more. Yes, Paul, man.
Is Jerry still on?
Is what?
Jerry
Should be.
Jerry.
Jerry,
on
you're
there.
still on, mate.
Yeah, I'm still on. Yeah, I'm still on.
I'm thinking about growing some slow berries. What's the best one you recommend?
Well, I would just go to wherever you live and choose the best ones grown wild and take some hardwood cuttings.
Yeah.
The ones that you know will grow well in your area. Hardwood cuttings, they'll root. They'll root very, very easy, very quickly.
I brought some grapevines as well, some sticks.
Yeah.
I put it, and there's quite damp when they come. So just put them in compost and let them go. That's what I've done anyway.
They'll be fine.
They'll be fine, yeah.
It'll be fine. It really will. Nothing much grows now, but it'll be all right. Okay.
The slow berries, you just Google in the area where they are.
Sorry.
Just Google where they are in the area and have a look.
Well, just look where you are. Get around your local park or fields and pathways and find some good slows growing.
Yeah.
And take some young shoots and just take them as hardwood cuttings. Very hard to buy good slow plants. If you do, they won't necessarily work where you are, but get the ones that grow well near you.
Okay, Jerry. Cheers. Bud.
All right. Cheers, mate.
Somebody mentioned them at one of our meetings a couple of months ago. That they've been collecting slows. I'm trying to think who it was. It's got to be somebody local. Somebody might come in.
We've got loads of them in our hedgerows. They're only blackthorn anyway. They
That's
throw
right.
runners up. If you just chop them off with your spade and let the runner out, that'll grow as simple as anything.
Equally as well as hardwood cuttings. Absolutely. They're very promiscuous.
Yeah, they're a pain in the butt really, because they'll send the runners out all over the place, worse than bloody red currants and black currants and gooseberries and things.
Good girl.
What's up the allotment?
How long do they take to fruit?
Good girl.
Oh, a couple of 3
2 years.
Years really.
2 years.
Couple of years.
Yeah.
You get some in this winter, you'll have fruit in 2024.
Yeah.
All right, okay.
I'll have a good Google.
Which isn't long, sadly.
Mick,
Yes.
you know your blackberry that you said you put in the corner that you were telling us about. Be careful with that because they are really, really bad. They throw up runners everywhere.
Yeah.
There's blackberries next door and they've just been left and I've literally got them coming up in my grass.
Good.
They've gone right underneath the fence. They do. Once you put a blackberry in, you'll never get rid of it. So if you're putting the glads in, if you're putting the gladiolis in the front, you're going to have to be really careful.
Yeah. I've had blackberries down the plot for years, and I know
they're all right. They're all right in a pot.
Yeah.
But if they're in
No,
like a bit of
plot,
earth,
down
they'll
the
just
plot.
spread. Oh, plot. Oh,
Yeah.
right, yeah. But they are quite invasive, so just be careful.
Oh, I'll keep me on the chap.
I've got thornless blackberries, Mick, and they're about 8. They grow up about 8 foot tall, and then they go along about 18 foot.
Yeah.
Thornless ones, and they're a good inch round, inch stem on them.
Good fruit as well. That's fruit off one this year. On this one.
But I don't get spiked with them. That's the beauty.
No.
Yeah. Them on the back end of the house, them are thornless. Paul, your mic's crap.
I know. I'll sort it out.
second that.
Put it on your Christmas list.
Get it round with your
headphones.
It's because you've not got it by your mouth.
I know. It keeps moving.
Ragos, we got a spare headphone for the talks. Just borrow the headphone, bring it home. There's 2 in there. I'll give you one.
They both plug into this phone.
Ask Father Christmas for a new one.
Yeah.
That's Man United for a new one, 3-1.
Yeah, all right. I'm going to go and cry to me Man United shirt now.
Ronaldo shirt.
I'll watch the highlights later on.
Got it.
Good game, Mick. Good game.
Good.
It's a violent game, football, compared to the rugby. Rugby, the gentleman.
Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Right, there's no Zooms for 2 weeks. I've got a birthday meal next Sunday after I'm for a weekend on the Isle with 60s weekend groups.
Good idea.
Enjoy yourself, Mick.
So it's
Yeah, have a good one.
27th of November, the next one. If anybody's got it, we'll start on that one. We do come back. Jeffrey's mentioned having he said you fancy having a Q&A Zoom. I think
Yeah.
we're boring a Q&A, but we can incorporate it when we start off the Zoom. If people ask questions, then as we do the Zoom itself, we then open it up again at the end of the Zoom. And anybody who knows the answer, just come in with it. And we can sort them out that way. There's got to be somebody, like if somebody asks summertime in futures, I ain't got a bloody clue. But if we just have the questions at the beginning and then write them down or whatever, and then at the end,
Well, we could send them to you. If anyone's got
okay.
questions, they could send them to you.
people that are too embarrassed to ask on the Zoom. To me,
Yeah.
you can send them off if you want.
Yeah.
Don't forget, photos are always good. There's people ask questions on Facebook on the gardening groups. And I said, just put a photo of it. Just people looking at a photo. It gives you, and try to explain somebody in your road. Up to you, we'll do that. Hour and a half, ain't done too bad tonight.
Yeah. Thanks very much.
All right, I'm off.
That's good.
Thanks, Mick.
Cheers.
All right,
See you in a
night
couple
all.
of
See
weeks.
ya.
See you all.
Cheers,
Cheers,
everybody.
mate.
Bye.
Take care.
See you later.
Bye.
Look after yourselves.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Ta-ra on a bit.